back in the apiary today. There was a swarm come from the apiary while I was erecting some notice boards. I noticed a big swarm going over, and I think this is the hive that it came from. I didn't get a chance due to the weather to inspect this hive last week because we've had loads of rain, so I didn't get in there. And yesterday and today has been very warm, and sure enough, I heard the sound of like a Boeing 747 coming over, and it was a swarm. So I'm just checking in this hive now. They're bringing in lots of nectar. There you see that's full of nectar, quite chunky frame as well. And the first box I took off, that was quite heavy, about 40% full. I'm not really here to look at the supers, I'd rather just get in and have a look at what's happening in the brood box, if there's any bees left. What I'm doing now is moving the frames around. The outside frames tend to be drawn out last, so what you should do really, move the middle frames to the outside and put the undrawn ones into the middle, and they'll soon draw them out. It don't take long. When they're on a good flow like now, with the hawthorn blossoming now, still coming out into blossom, there's a lot of nectar coming in. They generally fill the brood box up, which is where you need to make sure that they don't get rid of all the space to lay the eggs. I looked at a few hives last week where there was a lot of backfilled hives, but there was no supers, but the supers have been put on them now. So right, initial thoughts of the hive. There's not loads of bees in there, as you can see. This one, for me, has definitely swarmed. But I'm going to go through it. What I'm expecting to see is quite a few queen cells. No eggs, because what they do, they slim the queen down, ready to fly. When they're slimming her down, she doesn't lay eggs. So I doubt if I'll see eggs. We're going to have a look. Just a nectar frame and pollen. Play cup. Play cups are not a major problem, to be fair. Bit of brood in there around the centre. They're bringing the nectar in quite thick and fast now, but they have started putting it upstairs. And I've noticed, to be honest, a few of the hives that have got plastic queen excluders, they don't seem to be taking it up that well. I did change, sorry, just going back to this one, yeah, full sheet of brood both sides. I did change the queen excluder on one of the Buckfast hives from a plastic one to a metal one, and the difference is significant. They're bringing a lot up now. They've got 3 supers on. I'd say all together there's probably 1.5 full. So these plastic queen excluders, I might rethink and not use them anymore. There's no sales now though, so I've got to pay full price, but never mind. This is where I'm expecting to see queen cells. These next few frames. Yeah, in fact there's a few on there, to be fair. See them on the bottom. 2, 3, well there's a cup. 2 actually capped cells. 3 capped cells. 1 to the right, 2 to the left, and a cup in the middle. This one is definitely swarm, but what I'll do is I'll go through the rest of the frames, see how many cells are on there, and I'll just keep one I'd rather keep it on the top of the frame rather than the bottom. So in the top of the frame or the middle of the frame, it's more of a supersedure. On the bottom, pretty much every time swarm cells. Not that it makes much difference, but preference. I'm not going to take any more queen cells down until I've gone through every frame. You never know, the queen may be there. I very, very much doubt it, but it's possible. Let's remove a few cells up there now. We've got 3 on that one frame, so we don't know if we leave 3 queen cells and 3 queens emerge. There's another cell on that one. Yeah, they'll just swarm and swarm and swarm, and you don't want it. There's no queen in the hive. When you got one cell that emerges with the queen, they're not going to swarm, or very rarely. So far we've got 2, 3, 4 capped queen cells. And to be fair, I had a drone laying hive, but I get some eggs last week. That's just a play cup. Get out of the drone laying hive, and I get them a frame of eggs last week. This week, now I've got these cells. I may even put them cells in there if they haven't already produced a queen. This hive, though, back to this hive, there's a lot of brood in here, and there's a lot of older larvae. Right, so I've gone through 80% of the hive now, and there's no eggs. There is larvae about 5-6 days old, so it'll be capped in the next couple. So for me, it's definitely this hive that swarmed. It wasn't a massive swarm, to be fair. It sounded impressive, but it wasn't a massive swarm that left. The cell took off I mean, fair enough to the queen, she's gone off with some of the bees, but I only think she's took about 20-30% tops. It's just still a lot of bees there. There's about 6 frames of cap brood, so that's 18 frames of bees. So in the next 2 weeks, the numbers will be back up again. Definitely my fault that they swarmed. You have to inspect your bees every 7 days, because on the 9th day, queen cells will be capped, and that can trigger swarming in itself. Sometimes as soon as the queen cells capped, they're gone. So I will take it on the chin, as they say. Another frame of capped, 2 good cells at the bottom there, but we've already got a load. Just want to keep 1 cell at the top, preferably. Yeah, one hiding there in the corner. That's another way you get swarms. You have to be very careful. Ideally, if you find the queen, every inspection, shake every other frame off, just so you can check, because they hide these queen cells anywhere. I had one in some raised comb, some wild comb that they'd made, and it was at the side of that. Still more brood again, cat brood. By this time, it's 100% that this hive has swarmed. Now it's damage limitation, so it's going to be another 8-10 days before the queen emerges. Well, 7 to 10 days before the queen emerges. And it's going to be another 1 to 2 weeks before she lays, and then another 21 days before that emerges. So you're talking over a month before that queen can make a difference. So it's going to hurt the flow. It does move into June, it might be the June gap, so it may not matter, but the focus now is making sure this hive is up to production by the summer flow, so by the end of June it needs to be in full production mode, which I think it will be, to be fair. There's still a lot of bees there. They bring in a lot of nectar in as well. Them supers were quite heavy. It's going back through now, choosing which queen cell to keep and knock all the others down. Also remember, never shake a frame with a queen cell on if you want to keep the queen cell, because you can dislodge the larvae. It'll be no good. Always be careful with your queen cells. I think there's about 6 to choose from on here, to be fair. 6 cells, but there was one that was quite big. That's it, yeah, that's the one. That's a nice cell. I want to keep that one. It's at the top. It's a chunky cell. It's quite long. So for me, it's well fed. All the others now we get rid of. I know some people leave 2 cells on there, but I'd rather just leave the one. I've got enough hives to recover the hive if need be with other cells or eggs. I've already put the effort into these. That queen cell there was buried in the braze coat at the bottom. Same in the next lot as well. There was another 2 queen cells by the side of that one. All of it as well in that braze coat is drone brood. Still plenty of brood there, and they're backfilling it with nectar. Cleaning it all off. Any play cups that may have an egg in, which I doubt now. The queen hasn't laid for the last 3 to 4 days. Yeah, the hive will be okay. As long as the queen gets out and gets mated. I mean, that's not a guaranteed factor. It's probably the hardest part of queen rearing, to be fair, getting your queens mated. And back to the hive. Look at themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are there. Don't want any of those. All of them gone. With no eggs in there, they are now pretty much hopelessly queenless. They have got that cell that we've left them, but that's all they have got. Brood on there. So yeah, the brood that's coming out, that's in larval stage, is like another 15 days before they emerge. Then they've got another 6 weeks. So there's plenty of time to keep this hive into production. Loads of cat brood on that one. It's strange why they want to swarm and they've got plenty of room, but I suppose that's the way they continue as a species. There's cat brood in there, pollen, nectar, and the last frame that'll just be a nectar frame, to be fair. Okay guys, that's pretty much it. Get the board back in. queen excluded on the supers, and that's job done. So we lost one hive to a swarm, but we've not lost 70% of the bees, which you could do. We've only lost about, I'd say, 25%. So we got away with it. As long as we get a queen emerged, mated and back, and we're alright. Thanks for watching.